Okay, folks, I'd like to get started. Please, I'd like to call this June 2, 2026 meeting of the Henderson City County Planning Commission to order. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate everyone's interest as always. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Okay. David Dixon.
Here.
Kevin Richard.
Here.
Bobby Jarrett.
Here.
Mac Arnold.
Here.
Dickie Johnson.
Here.
Gary Gibson.
Here.
Kevin Herron. Gray Hodge.
Here.
Stacy Denton.
Here.
Frank Boyette.
Here.
Heather Crooks.
Here.
And Kurt Hamilton.
Here.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. We've got some public hearing business to attend to. I'll entertain a motion to enter public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of entering public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We are in public hearing. First item, of course, is to approve the minutes from the May 5th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. The next item has to do with the proposed amendments to the city zoning ordinance relating to accessory buildings. Ms. Allen, you going to help us with that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The city attorney is out, and so is the codes administrator for the city, so now this falls on me, so I'll do my best on that. But as you can see, the City of Henderson's Board of Commissioners proposes and originates the amendment of the City of Henderson zoning ordinance relating to Section 4.24 accessory buildings. So if you will look in your packet on page 4, that's where that section will start. There's really two changes to that section. One thing to note is currently accessory buildings are not allowed in the front yards of lots anywhere, regardless of the zone. So the first change that you'll see in here, roughly around page 6, is an option to allow for accessory buildings for your more multifamily developments where you're going to have that higher density in a smaller area. So that proposal would show as the allowability for those in R2, R3, and R4. That would be as a conditional use permit though, so it's not just a permitted use. They would have to go through the city's Board of Zoning and Adjustment and apply for that permit to do that, to allow for, let's say, like front yard storage. Trying to think if there's some that I can kind of explain, but like a carport in the front that has somewhat of a storage component to it for those eight like townhomes, or something to that level. A lot of times when you get in that higher density in the smaller areas, they still need some kind of storage, and you just don't have the lot coverage to have large yard barns in the backyards and things like that. So that's one of the proposals that they had, is to allow for that, again, as a conditional use permit. So it would go to the Board of Zoning and Adjustment. Notification for conditional use permit is done for all adjoining property owners. So anybody, if they did have an issue, could come and voice that opinion at that meeting. And then the second change is going to be on page 7. And this is just in regards to double frontage lots. I'm sure that's pretty self-explanatory. There are actually some lots in the city that are double frontage, and even I've seen a few that have recently been triple frontage. And so right now, people who, even though you think it's your backyard, but the streets in the back, they have no ability to have accessory structures in their backyard because of the current zoning ordinance. So this would then allow for people with double frontage lots to again apply for a conditional use permit, to have that come to the Board of Zoning and Adjustment. Obviously, the board would look at something like that and say, well, this is clearly your backyard, for things like that. And so this would be another opportunity for the people who currently have those double frontage lots that cannot put accessory structures. I believe it's yard barns and even pools are considered accessory structures in the city's zoning ordinance. So they would have that opportunity as well underneath this.
Corey, does this also cover like, I guess you want to say like awnings or parking, covered parking areas?
If they are not attached to the primary dwelling. So if it was detached from that.
Right.
I think that was mentioned, is the potential for the carports, but if
Okay.
they are not attached.
I remember the last Boas meeting, there was a concern about that right there, so I just wanted to double check.
Okay, you're going to allow these in R2, R3, and R4.
Yes.
Is that going to be only where there is a multifamily dwelling?
Yes, this is specifically meant for multifamily dwelling developments. So, yes, because they currently do, it looks like they currently allow them as a conditional use permit on page 6 in R1, RF4, and ag zones. But you do have to have a minimum lot size there. But this is now adding a section where you can also, with a conditional use permit, be allowed R2, R3, and R4 for multifamily dwellings.
Does the first reference, does that include swimming pools?
Underneath this section here, this is specifically accessory buildings. So that first change is specific to accessory
Okay.
buildings.
So in that case, a swimming pool is not an accessory building.
No, so that's on the page 7. You'll see where it discusses accessory structures,
Okay,
and that is an above ground, including in-ground and above ground swimming pools.
okay. Other questions?
Yes.
Quick question, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, Jennifer, these storage buildings, are they meant for just residential storage and not human habitation?
Correct. These are just for if you were going to store your Christmas decorations, or things like that. Certainly not for more residences on the lot.
Okay, thank you.
Was it ever considered to just make this a permissible use, so people who wanted to erect these in a multi-family, for these multi-family units, don't have to come and go through more paperwork and red tape hearing with BOZA? Was it considered by the city to make it a permitted use, and they decided not to do that?
It is my understanding, and I was not in the original conversations on this, that this was kind of their first step to seeing how it would do as a conditional use permit. And because right now, like I said, it's not even allowed at all. So this is kind of the first step. It's starting to open that door instead of going all the way to just permitting it anywhere. But again, I wasn't in discussions on the beginning talks of it, so I'm not sure on that one.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the commission for staff? Okay, do we have anybody with us this evening who would like to speak in favor of this proposed amendment? We are in public hearing. Anyone who would like to speak in the other direction about this proposed amendment or has questions? I'm seeing none, hearing none. The commission have anything else to add? If that's the case, I'll entertain a motion in regard to this proposed amendment to section 4.24 of the city zoning ordinance relating to accessory buildings. This would be a recommendation back to the city commission, right? Okay, we're voting to recommend or not. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a motion to recommend the amendments that were covered here to the City of Henderson Board of Commissioners proposal that originated for an amendment to the City of Henderson zoning ordinance relating to section 4.24 accessory buildings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
David Dixon,
Yes?
Kevin Richard,
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett,
Yes.
Mac Arnold,
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Kevin Herron, Gray Hodge,
Yes.
Stacy Denton,
Yes.
Frank Boyette,
Yes.
Heather Crooks,
Yes.
and Kurt Hamilton.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes. Moving on, we are about to leave public hearing, so I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to leave public hearing. Any discussion? All in favor of leaving public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Very good, we are out of public hearing. The next item on the agenda is the May finance report. Ms. Thompson, you going to help with that?
Yes, sir. In front of you is the May 2026 financial statements. That is 11 months into our fiscal year. We are at 94% of our approved budget. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for staff from the commission concerning the May finance report? If we don't have any questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the finance report as presented, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Finance report is approved. Next item is the bond report. Ms. Allen, I think it's back to you this time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one item on the bond report for this month. That is going to be Bentley Point, Section 1, the Jago development. We currently hold a bond for the roadways and the sidewalks. The original amount of that bond was $475,013. We have reviewed the work that's currently being done out there, and at this point, we would be comfortable with extending that bond and reducing the bond amount to $166,254. As you will remember, yes, it probably looks like more is done out there, but part of our subdivision regulations require that we can only lower a bond to 35% of the original amount. So that is the lowest that we could do that one until the project is completed.
Thank you. Any questions for staff concerning the bond report?
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to accept the bond report as submitted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of approval, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Bond report is approved. Next item is the division of the Sneaton Revocable Trust Property, Lot 6. Ms. Allen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The division of the Sneddon Revocable Trust Property, Lot 6, submitted by Lois T. Sneddon Revocable Trust for the property located in Henderson County at 14037 Highway 41 South, being parcel ID number 80-44, containing approximately 1.9 acres. The applicant is requesting preliminary plat approval. So if you will look on page 8 or on your screen, in your packet, you will see the division that we're looking at. This is going to be one of those major subdivisions. We call them that because we have now picked over that 5-lot maximum for a minor. So this would be the 6th lot cut out of the original parent tract, and so that is why we're looking at that as a major. So if you'll see here, this is the property in question. There will be bonding required for this property in the amount of $10,000. And that will be for the installation of a fire hydrant. The nearest one, I believe, is a little over 1,000 feet away. There's a note on there, but a little over 1,000 feet. And we require them to be within 500 foot. So that is why that will be required for that. Part of this is a division off of a remaining, let me just pull it up on GIS. Make more sense. So as you can see, this is the lot that parcel that comes up here is being cut off of. So we would require that a consolidation plat is also submitted to our office and approved prior to the final plat being recorded. As you all know, we cannot create lots that do not have road frontage. And so once that is cut off, it will be missing road frontage. This is a very difficult thing to look at here because GIS is not accurate in the existing lots that you would typically see here. So if we go back to the plat, you can see that there are other lots existing right here that are that other portion of what you would think was the road frontage. So once we cut this small portion off here, that is the dog leg that was the original road frontage for this whole portion back here. So that is why we would need that consolidation into the piece of property that fronts on 416. Now we'll answer questions. I know this one is a little hard to look at because GIS doesn't have the parcels on this side.
Commissioner, have any questions for staff on this? I'm having real difficulty visualizing or making these two views come together.
Yeah, so if you look at it from this standpoint, this is that whole entryway there that you see that looks like it's open, but there are lots existing on this side that are not showing on GIS because those lines have not been put in there. It's a very old, I have the original printed out somewhere.
What's darkened in along 41?
This part right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the lot in question. So that would be the lot 6 we're creating. And so previously it would look something like here's a lot, here are these lots. And then here is this access point that would have been used as the frontage for this entire farm property back here. But since we are creating this 6th lot here, we are losing that road frontage accessibility there. So consolidating that remainder into the 416 lot would make it have road frontage on 416.
It's been a while since we've had a flag lot come up. And we're just looking at this plat. Do you know in the surrounding area, if this is the only flag lot in that area?
We can zoom out a bit. I don't, that goes the other direction, but for the majority of the area, that's, typically when we start discussing flag lots, though, it's really just a 3-to-1 width, so that one wouldn't be, the dog leg portion isn't quite as long as what we would normally look at to consider it a flag lot.
Other questions for staff?
The applicant or their agent are both here if you would have, if you have further questions to them as well.
Okay. Do we have, commission have questions for the applicant or their representative?
Now, just to clarify, so 50-foot road frontage would be 150 deep to not be a flag lot, right? 3-to-1, and we're looking at 238, 239.
Flag lots are allowed, they're
Yes.
just,
No, but I'm as far as 3-to-1 ratio, that is more than a 3-to-1 ratio.
I don't, my understanding is we haven't been bringing flag lots here. It's, since it became one of those things that is allowable, so I wouldn't look at it for it to be a flag lot. It's just because.
Yeah, I
it's
just want to
that
clarify the
6th lot.
statement on the 3-to-1,
Sorry,
because it is a
yes.
3-to-1, yeah.
Okay. Other questions?
So that 50-foot would be kind of like a public driveway back to the back.
No, the 50-foot is a part of the lot. So this would be the lot, because that 50-foot width right here is acting as its road frontage. But it is its access point to this.
Yeah.
Access points and road frontage are not the same.
In other words, if they open them, any more of them lots in the back, I got to come in from a different way.
Yes, so if, when they cut this portion off here, if they were wanting to cut more lots off back here somewhere, they would need to find road frontage on 416, it looks like. Or,
Okay.
you know, consolidate pieces over here in, or just different ways, but they would have to come off 416 at that point.
Okay. Any other questions? This is not a recommendation situation in this case, right?
this is an approval situation.
Okay, very good. If there are no further questions from the commission, I'll entertain a motion in regard to this application for preliminary plat approval.
I'll make a motion for approval of a lot at 14037 Highway 41 South, division of the said revocable trust property, lot 6.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
David Dixon.
Yes?
Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Gray Hodge.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Crooks.
Yes.
Kurt Hamilton.
Yes.
Very good. Motion passes. We're down to administrative business having to do with the annual evaluation of our executive director.
Oh, boy.
Ms. Allen, I think you've got that one too.
Yes, you'll see in front of you your little packet that includes the document for the evaluation for our executive director. Typically the same thing, you can fill it out while you're sitting there and submit it back. You can drop it at the office. I'll email a copy tomorrow to you all, so you could even fill it out via email. Drop it in the mail, send it to me. However, call me and I'll come get it. Whatever we need to do to get them all submitted. You'll see there's a deadline there of Friday, June 19th. As you all know, that is a federal holiday, so we're not in the office on the 19th, but I did want to give it at least a full week for you all, so I'll get it that Monday. And then once I receive all those in, I'll call a meeting of the executive committee, we'll review those, and then we will have a recommendation back for you at the July meeting.
Okay, any questions concerning this evaluation procedure? The document is the same as we've used before. No questions? Any other administrative business?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I think the Planning Commission saw an email that I sent out roughly about a week ago concerning House Bill 677. April 14, House Bill 677 became law, and what it did was it basically set statewide guidelines on industrial wind turbines. And I provided a summary of that, which is this document. And then there's also a spreadsheet that shows what that is compared to what the staff has recommended so far. And I broke it down into 7 categories, or several categories, excuse me. So the one item on the left, you'll see turbine height. The staff recommended a maximum height of 200 feet to its highest point. The state statute is 350 feet, but that is from the ground to the hub. That does not count the blade tip that the staff accounted for. The zoning location, we made a recommendation of as a conditional use in the M2 zoning district. The state statute does not address zoning. Occupied structures are also addressed. The staff recommended 1 mile setback from any occupied structure. The state statute is 1,000 feet from any adjoining property boundary and 2,000 from any residential neighborhood, school, hospital, or nursing home. Property lines, staff recommended 1,640 feet or 1.5 times the turbine height, or ice throw distance plus 250 feet. The recommended, or the required distance on the state statute is 1,000 feet. Staff recommended a 1 mile setback from rivers, wildlife refuges, publicly owned nature reserves, and things of that nature. House Bill 677 does not address that. And finally, noise, the staff made a recommendation of 35 decibels at non-participating occupied structures and 45 at the property line. House Bill 677 does not address noise. So that is a brief overview of what the statute requires and what we have recommended so far. We just wanted to keep the Planning Commission notified of what's going on. So this bill kind of snuck in on us. It was originally dealing with carbon storage, and then as it was going through the process, some of the folks in the legislature added wind turbine language. So this became law April 14th of this year.
So Brian, does that mean we cannot enforce any greater, or that we can still enforce?
It is very clear. It gives local planning commissions the authority to make it more strict, but it cannot make it less strict.
Okay.
I think that's the key thing for us all to understand. Okay? That we can make it more strict, but not less. They basically have just kind of set a baseline and indicated their interest in the issue, I guess, is another thing we might know. Anything else, Mr. Bishop?
Have you gotten any feedback from the applicants on this?
I have not.
Brian, have you guys taken a look at the occupied structure setback that the state imposes vis-a-vis the proposed property where the WEX facility would be? I mean, does the 1,000 feet from adjoining property boundary and 2,000 feet from residential neighborhood disqualify the applicant under the state rule?
I don't believe it disqualifies. That is their baseline. As the chairman said, if I remember the way the wording in the statute is, that could be reduced if the PSC and the siting authority of the state allows it to be.
Okay, I guess what I'm asking is, has someone like put a ruler on the map and said, okay, this proposal is less than 1,000 feet from an adjoining property here, so therefore it doesn't pass muster under state law?
We have not, because we don't know of all the parcels that are included in the lease. We know in Virginia property, we could do that, but we don't really know all the leases, I don't believe, because we're not privy to the information that they have with the people that they're leasing. And if you may remember, Mr. Hampton, they were not very open to share.
Right. Well, we do have subpoena power, this board does, if that would become a thing, so, but I'm sorry.
I respectfully disagree.
So.
Most of it does, if I remember correctly.
One question I would like to ask, Now, what if we recommend a total ban for Henderson County? Can we do that?
That is still an option that is available.
This state law does not take that option off the table at all.
But one point of question, I guess, to clarify, we cannot be less stringent than state law. So if they set a 350 maximum hub height, does that disqualify a 700-foot tower unless it is a 350 tall hub with a 400-foot blade?
According to the state regulation, yes. So I believe the model that we talked about previously was a Vestas V163. The lowest hub height that they make, if my memory serves me correctly, is 98 meters, which would roughly barely fit this requirement. So they would not be able to put the wind turbine that they proposed as this is currently written without other authorization from the state.
That's what I said. So basically, the state, no matter what we say, the state would overrule us on
Yes.
something taller than what they've
Yes.
mandated.
We cannot make it less stringent.
Okay. That's one to point of clarify, because that's the only one that's kind of opposite thinking compared to.
Now, they're talking about 350 feet to the hub.
Yes,
Is that the generator?
Yes, that's the middle portion where the.
But they don't
actually-
consider the rest of the blade all the way up?
Correct. They do not account for blade height, where the staff accounted for blade height.
Yes.
So we included the entire structure at its highest point as the blades would rotate.
So a 350-foot tall
Brian, as I read this,
would be about
the statute.
400, 500 feet.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
I mean,
The statute that you guys have proposed qualifies under the new state law, right?
Yes,
Without-
it is more stringent, not less stringent.
Okay.
Any other questions from the commission?
Well, not on that, but I've got something else I'd like to bring up in regards to this same thing, is that, how many more sections do we have to go through?
We just completed meeting number 2, which was noise, vibration, and shadow flicker.
Yeah.
Our next one is scheduled for July 15th, which is environmental and ecological impacts.
All right. And one of the major concerns that I'm hearing from the people is property value, and we've got one scheduled. Is there any way that we can bump that up into one of the other ones, or combine that one to get some of the individuals out here that's concerned about the property value taken care of?
Unless Mr. Friday disagrees, I believe that is under the purview of the planning commission. You can vote to change this schedule, as you have done in the past.
Okay.
Brian, how much more, I mean, if we voted to change the schedule to 0 more hearings, so we could just vote on this thing and put it behind us, is that in the purview of the planning commission?
My understanding is yes, unless Mr. Friday disagrees, because we would still originate the zoning text as outlined by the fiscal court's resolution directing us to do it. When we do that, we still have the legally required meeting on the zoning text itself. So we still would have one more meeting that's legally required no matter what.
Right, certainly, and that's what I'm saying. If we had one meeting and just said, everyone bring whatever you want to say that hasn't been said already, so we can put this behind us and put this behind the people of Henderson County, so we can all sort of move on with our lives, make a decision, pass it on to the fiscal court, and move forward. Because we all have a lot of information, thousands of pages that we review.
I believe that is up to the planning commission itself to make that decision.
Thank you.
What's the pleasure of the planning commissioner? We got everybody here but one, I think, don't we? I mean, I'm hearing a lot from out in the public that, they'd like to get it done too. So, either we need to combine or do like Kurt said, combine them all and, maybe extend it out to 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock and get it done.
I mean, just get it done.
Yeah.
It's just too stressful for the people who live here and the people who serve on this board. I mean, I think it's, I don't like waking up. I mean, I'm the newest one on the commission, probably by a lot. I don't like waking up every day and thinking about windmills and thousands of acres of more solar panels. You know, I think we need to make a decision, pass it on to the fiscal court, and, you know, do the right thing by Henderson County, which I think we can do based on the evidence we've already heard. We can just put it behind us and move on.
Okay, let's make sure we do understand the procedure. We will need to have a public hearing concerning whatever is proposed.
Correct. The statute requires one.
At least one, and on this, you're probably gonna need two.
I mean, what would be the topics then of the chief public hearing?
The one that's required, correct me if I'm wrong, TJ, is the one that's required by law will be the zoning text amendment itself. This process was adopted by the Planning Commission as the data collection process. So this is completely independent of what's legally required by law.
So if we were prepared, if someone was prepared at some point to offer a motion suggesting this recommendation to fiscal court, we could proceed with that and just have one more public hearing.
Yes.
Well, no, wait. I think you're saying what you can do. You could direct staff to prepare an ordinance that was in agreement with whatever you chose, and then have a hearing on that ordinance, then pass the ordinance, which ordinance is a regulation to the county. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I intended to say, at least.
Okay, that's
We would we would have the option of directing staff to propose, to write an ordinance. We'd hold a hearing on that ordinance and then vote on that ordinance as far as a recommendation to fiscal court.
So technically, we don't really need to have any more of the 7 hearings, correct?
You don't have to, because you were not required to do this. This was done for the
Okay.
public's input and for the Planning Commission to gather information.
Right, and my strong suspicion is that the interested citizens of Henderson County don't really want any more of these hearings. They just want to hear a vote from us so we can move on. You've already prepared a draft ordinance, correct?
Yes.
So we'd have to have a hearing over the draft ordinance, and then vote on that, and then have another hearing?
I recommend you have two. You have a hearing on the draft ordinance and table it for a month, and then come back and have a second hearing to, typically, the planning commission is reluctant to make minute changes to a proposed ordinance. And in this case, I think you would be well advised to have a public hearing, and the planning commission, if it chooses, make some tweaks or major overhaul, and allow the public the same opportunity, but the public needs that ordinance for a period of time, 20, 30 days, I would think, in order to intelligently comment on it, in order to intelligently have a public hearing and say this or that, and propose you change that, and maybe, or hopefully bring some evidence or some supporting documentation, some expert article or something to support what they're asking to change, and then the planning commission work through that.
Brian, do you anticipate any changes to the proposed ordinance that you provided us in March or January?
Not from the staff perspective, no.
Okay, and that was distributed to the public as well?
Yes, it's still available to the public via the Dropbox and physical hard copy at the Planning Commission office.
And the applicants and all interested parties as well?
Yes, it's, that was the QR code that we created, so
Right.
that way anybody can scan and get to that those documents.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would also recommend that you have at least one more public hearing and introduce evidence about property values. Do wind turbines affect property values in the area.
That was my question is, could we either add the property value one to the next one, or just lump them all together, like Kurt said, and just get it all done?
That's my suggestion.
So I'm looking at what we have here. So I reached out to the gentleman that staff had made a request to come address this. He would be available to come at our next meeting at July 15th, and then we could consolidate there if we needed to, but he's available. My assumption was that we would switch, but we can consolidate as well.
Okay. That would be my motion, to consolidate the guy that's gonna take care of the property, along with the next one. And then if there's any other meetings that we need to take care of, then we'll address it at that meeting, or our next planning commission meeting.
So your motion is to truncate the remaining 7 into one?
No, only the property evaluation into the next one.
Okay.
So include it with environmental impact or reverse them? I want to make sure I'm understanding.
Well, I thought maybe we just lump them two together.
We
Yeah.
can?
I mean, is there any good reason not to lump them all together? That's what I'm asking. Legal reason?
No. May I offer?
There
my
is a
suggestion?
public,
Tommy Joe.
there is a public relations reason. We've already come under criticism from people who say, you know, it's already in the bag, we've already made up our minds. If we rush this through, we're going to reinforce that.
We'll still be collecting.
And the data.
No, I don't object to truncating this somewhat, but I'm not sure rolling them all into one is the way to do it.
And also, I think, really and true, we need more information on different counties that had banned this altogether, on how they went about, how they banned it. And in that way, get the wind turbine. No. We already got solar, and we got a certain amount that we're gonna put in it. But wind turbine, no, we don't. In my situation here, we could ban wind turbine, recommend to the county. We can't do it, but we can recommend to the county that they totally ban wind turbine here in the county.
I would be reluctant to use the word ban.
And we do want to make, I mean, this is just me talking, but I would want to have, solar and smaller windmills available for personal use at a reasonable cost.
Okay, they come back with a turbine farm, yeah.
Right.
No turbine farm.
The industrial
Henderson County.
we've been talking.
Yeah, industrial farm.
I think that was part of the ordinance, wasn't it, allowing individual?
It was. The
Development.
current staff version that we've been working on does not prohibit personal wind turbines,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the height limit is at 50 feet, is what we have worked on.
That's something like that for them, but the turbine farm should be out. No. And see how we can recommend that to the county.
We have so much evidence already, so much evidence from both sides already, that there has to be a way to not spend another year or what have you on this issue, that we can move it forward and set a date.
Counselor?
Consider having the next meeting being value, the impact that wind turbines have on property values. Then, after that, maybe the next month, which gives everybody 2 months' notice, consolidate however you want to, 1, 2, 3 meetings for everything else.
Thank you, Mr. Friday. I suspect that probably I'm not the only one who wants to just go ahead and vote on this. You know? So, anyway, thank you.
Commissioner Johnson, if I understood your motion right, it would be to switch number 3, environmental and ecological impacts, with number 6, regulatory and administrative framework, where we would address property values.
That's right.
Is that, am I saying?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just make sure I understand.
I thought it was to combine the.
Well, it was, but then they were worried about the time frame that would take to do both at one meeting. We'd have to probably extend our deadline to 10 o'clock. So,
Better than coming in another day.
well, I'll agree. I mean,
I think part of it is the comments tend to fill the time available to
Yeah.
have them. So if you keep it at 3 hours, it'll be a 3-hour meeting,
Yeah.
and everybody will get everything off their chest. And
yeah.
So if we want the next meeting with that meeting.
Well,
Two
that was
topics
my
together.
intent, was to combine both.
From the research we've done, I would imagine once you get property values discussion started, that's going to dominate the conversation more than ecological and environmental issues.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I understand what the motion entails. The July 15 meeting, public hearing that we have been operating under, the July 15 meeting would cover property values, environmental and ecological impacts. That
Mr.
what's being
Johnson,
proposed?
is that what you would like to do, or switch them?
Well, I'm going to withdraw my motion. I'm just going to ask to switch them.
Okay.
That'll make it easier.
So then on July 15, we do property values. September 16 is health and annoyance impacts. And then, when does environmental and ecological impacts come in?
That would be moved to number 6.
Where we're reviewing ordinance from other jurisdictions and this kind of
Yes.
thing?
So, yes, number 6 would become number 3, number 3 would become number 6, if I understood Mr. Johnson right.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody understand the motion?
I thought he withdrew it.
I did the one, but then I made another one.
Okay. I don't want to get into Robert's Rules of Order like I did at first meetings, for sure.
Okay, the motion has been withdrawn. We have a new motion that is going to move the July 15, going to swap
Yes.
July 15 with January 20. That keeps all of these hearings on the schedule.
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Not yet.
We're trying to clarify the motion, but yes, if that is the motion,
That's the motion.
I'll second that motion.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, at the next meeting or at some future date, can we then decide to set this for a vote on the proposed ordinance?
Yes.
Okay.
Once we deal with this motion, you can make another motion
Okay.
to undo what we just did.
I've been down that path before, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman. I'm not going down that path.
Okay. So we have a motion. I believe everybody understands what it's being proposed. It does not have to be the only motion that we take up. Do we have any further discussion concerning the motion that is on the table? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Okay, Kurt Hamilton,
Yes.
Heather Crooks, Frank Boyette,
Yes.
Stacy Denton,
Yes.
Gray Hodge,
Yes.
Kevin Herron is not here, Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Dickie Johnson,
Yes.
Mac Arnold,
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett,
Yes.
Kevin Richard,
Yes.
Thank you very much. The motion passes. So we have altered that schedule. We need to make sure that we thoroughly and quickly let the public know that we have made this change.
I will update that, and then Chris can update it on the website tomorrow, and I will update it on the Facebook page.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, especially questions of procedure or how we might, at any point, if I understand the discussion today, at any future meeting, including our next regular meeting, including this next public hearing, we can make decisions that would speed up the process, which seems to be the crux of the matter here. That is correct, Counselor? Okay, as long as everybody, along the way, the public gets their public hearing. Might be one and maybe two.
Yep.
At a certain point, we have to have a public hearing on what's being proposed specifically when we get to that.
Well, one thing I've always admired about you, Chairman, is that you make sure that everyone gets to say everything that they want to say. And I want to make sure that we have enough public hearing to make sure that happens.
I agree that we need to make sure that we have enough public hearings. I know this is unprecedented to drawing this out like this. We have, this topic is unprecedented for our purview. And, we've got, folks have got, a lot of people have a lot of invested in time and energy and, trying to do the right thing. So I want to make sure that's maintained. But I also appreciate the points being made tonight that having to do with expediting the matter if it can be, and the value of that. Anything else tonight in the other business category?
No, sir.
Are we sure? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor of adjournment? Oh, any discussion about adjourning? All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.